What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
From Penelope and Colin being the central couple to some fan-favorite characters leaving the show and even some major changes made in the series compared to the source material, here is why Bridgerton Season 3 is about to blow your mind. Warning, spoilers ahead. Penelope and Colin. Perhaps you're still getting over the intense story of Anthony and Kate from the second installment of the show, but you need to know that shortly after the premiere of Season 2, to be more precise, 2 weeks after the premiere, we already had confirmed cast members and a potential central couple that will lead the show next season. As you already know, Bridgerton is a period drama. Let's rephrase this. It is one of the most popular period dramas created by Chris Van Dusen and produced by Shonda Rhimes, based on Julia Quinn's novels. So far, the show has stayed loyal to the source material, following the order of the novels. But that won't be the case with the third installment because this time, Bridgerton will skip forward to the plot to focus on Colin and Penelope rather than on Benedict. Let's get into more details, shall we? Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. While the second installment followed the love triangle between Anthony, Kate, and Edwina, by the end of Season 2, fans saw some hints about whose story is up next. Once Anthony and Kate were given a happily ever after, it seemed like the creators wanted to tell fans that Benedict is not the next Bridgerton sibling on a quest for love. I mean, even Daphne wasn't given that much screen time as Penelope and Colin. We already know enough about both characters, how long they've been friends, and we perfectly know their dynamics. Benedict, on the other side, was only given more subtle storylines, and that's why fans believe his story will be explored in one of the future seasons, perhaps the fourth one. Another thing that proves Penelope and Colin are next is the fact that Bridgerton already used storylines from the book in which their story is told. These storylines were utilized at the end of Season 2. For instance, one occurs when Colin says he'll never marry Penelope. Only in Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, his brothers tease him, not his friends. The fact that Shonda Rhimes said they'll be more creative with Season 3 also proves that the next installment is not about Benedict. The third book in the Bridgerton series, An Offer from a Gentleman, follows Benedict's love story. This is a Cinderella story in which the eldest Bridgerton child falls in love with a woman called Sophie Beckett. Bridgerton didn't introduce Sophie yet, just Tessa, a girl he'll be with prior to meeting Sophie. You should expect Colin to reveal Penelope's true identity sometime at the beginning of the next installment, as this plays a huge role in their romance. In an Entertainment Tonight interview, Rhimes said the creators don't feel obligated to follow the order of the books. There are 8 Bridgerton siblings, so we're planning on following each one of the siblings' romantic stories. We're not necessarily going in order, but we are going to be seeing each of the siblings and their stories. We need to remember that this doesn't mean there are no chances for the next installment to follow the events of An Offer from a Gentleman. The first 3 books, Daphne, Anthony's, and Benedict's stories respectively, don't have a huge age gap between them, but Colin and Penelope's story is told 10 years later, when they are in their late 20s. In the second installment, Colin is 21 and Penelope is 18. Maybe the show will include this 10-year time jump. Perhaps, after all, Benedict is the next one. In an interview with EW, Luke Thompson talked about the possibility of his character not being the lead in the next installment. The thing is, the books are the books, and the show is completely rooted in the books, but it's not tied to the books, so I don't know. The books would indicate that the next one up is Benedict, but we don't know that for sure because the show is the show, and the show has a license to do all sorts of things. The show is such an ensemble effort anyway, and it doesn't feel like there's so much to get our teeth into even when you're not in the driver's seat. We don't know about you, but we believe this means that we're seeing Penelope and Colin as the central couple of Season 3. Now, let's continue with the other things we should expect to happen in future episodes. Penelope will help her family. In the books, Penelope is living alone once she and Colin realize they are meant to be together. In fact, their story is much more complicated than the one of Daphne and Simon and the one of Kate and Anthony. Penelope will struggle a lot before Colin realizes he has feelings for her. Anyway, the Featherington family is no longer in a financial crisis, and if they struggle financially in the future, we believe Penelope will be happy to help. This will be followed by Lady Featherington Hetherington finally discovering her daughter's true identity, which will make her appreciate Penelope more. Francesca has more scenes. Fans of the novel know exactly who Francesca is. The character was introduced by the end of season 1, and fans want to see more scenes of her in the next installment. Her book, He Was Wicked, is one of the best in the series. She gets happily married, but her husband dies and she falls for his best friend. If the show goes by the order of the novels, we should expect to see Francesca's love story in season 6. Hopefully, Bridgerton will go beyond season 4.
You know, have a duchess for a sister. That makes achieving the life you wish for all the more easier.
The return of Daphne and the Duke. Lady Whistledown was the first to announce the bad news. Prior to the release of the second installment, fans discovered that Regé-Jean Page is not coming back to reprise his role as the Duke of Hastings, Daphne's husband. Now that we've all seen season 2, we know how awkward his absence felt. We're not saying we aren't entertained by Kate and Anthony's love story, but Daphne appearing alone in season 2, making silly excuses about where her husband is, was a bit awkward. The reason for his departure is not really known yet. What we know is that Page's involvement in the series was always supposed to be a one-season arc, but there are some rumors suggesting he didn't come back to reprise his role because of the less screen time offered to him for the second installment. And again, these are only rumors, and the actor is yet to address a departure, so we can find out more details. If it was his decision to not come back, we should all respect that and wish him a successful career with many projects under his belt. But there's one tiny bit of a problem. It wouldn't make sense if Daphne again appears alone in the next installment. What kind of excuse will she come up with this time? The worst thing that could happen is the creators of the show deciding to kill off the Duke, but we have to be prepared for everything. And if Paige doesn't return for future episodes, killing off the fan favorite character would be the only storyline that would make sense. That being said, maybe the creators should reconsider their decisions and convince Paige to return at least for a cameo. Don't you agree? Eloise and a love interest. One of the best things to see in films and TV shows is a character that doesn't believe in love, marriage, or happily ever after, finding their soulmate and falling in love. This would be fun to see with Eloise in the next installment. Considering the fact that she's anti-marriage, giving her a love interest would be everything. Honestly, Theo is perfect for her, and we wish him to appear in future episodes. They share the same beliefs, and this is the man that would make Eloise chase her dreams. Another thing we would love to see is her friendship with Penelope. The two of them need to work things out and continue supporting each other.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help you find your writer.
On a related note, what are your hopes for season 3? Which book do you want to see adapted next? Let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching.